Now we're fucking ready to go here. Take two.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? We're on our, what number are we on, Mr. Joe?
This is listener leave number 13.
Number 13.
Yeah, lucky 13, and there's three of us on here today. We've got Vinny P. We know who's been a little absentee lately.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think been 2 weeks, probably.
I think even longer,
More than
like
that.
3 weeks, and plus just haven't got weekly episodes out because just fucking didn't like. But
Hella lazy.
anyways, it's good to have Vinny back in the studio, and
Feels good to be
it
back.
feels good to be back. And our guest today is Kamran from Washington State. We
Washington.
Olympia, Washington. He's this is technically his second time because we attempted to make a recording the first time, which went into the vault. So now we're gonna go at number 2. But Cam, welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Yo, that first take, we can always, if this gets really, when this gets really big, we can sell that first take as like an NFT.
Yeah,
Actually,
Ooh.
straight up.
Cam's coming out firing with the NFTs. Hey,
So who? I don't believe in them. But who's introducing?
we just
this,
both did.
episode?
We just did. That
We're
was our introduction.
we're a team. That was our intro.
Okay. But what
What kind
about
of fucking
the
intro you looking for, buddy? Like
looking for something
WWF
special.
entrance music and this.
Oh man, none of us are
Prince
Prince
Hakeem.
Hakeem, whatever Singh, which is
Prince-
yeah, whatever his
Prince
name
Hakeem
is.
Singh.
The guy that was gonna kill me when I first met him.
Yo, Cam, is your sound bugging out again?
It's
don't-
bugging out.
It's bugging out. Yo,
I'm
Cam.
not.
It's
No,
this is what happens.
Really?
Like, we thought Canada had bad internet, right? But fucking America and all that, man.
Yo, Cam's a tech guy for all those listening and can still hear him. He's a tech guy having technical difficulties.
How am I
Yeah,
supposed?
but we're not gonna cancel this.
Okay, look.
We're not
in the
canceling, so
top
he's gonna have
right
to
corner,
figure-
I'll speak slow.
You figure your shit out. We're gonna give a farmer's update.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay, you do that.
all right, that's what we'll do. So Vinny, we were just discussing. What's happening with the farmers? There's not really too much going on at the moment.
No, there's not.
It's essentially right now is a stalemate. I don't think they've had the government and the farmers haven't had a round of meetings in, I think, since January, right? Since before the
Yeah,
26th state
yeah.
Delhi parade. So yeah, there's not really much going on. There is the prisoners are being with the Delhi Gurdwara Committee, Sirsa.
Yeah.
They've been getting the political prisoners out. Still about
Yeah.
you were saying what? There's 12 left.
Yeah, so part of the farmers' protest, right? There's 12 left out of them. So, from after the 26th of January, right? There's 12 left, and one of them is Deep Sidhu, right?
Yeah.
And as we were talking about, like, once this guy gets out, and he's going to, it's gonna be a turnaround, man. Because everybody knows that this last couple of months have been kind of just like, okay, is something fucking gonna happen, or but obviously nothing happened, right? But once he comes out, I think it's gonna have a little bit more energy.
Well, yeah, energy for sure. Him and Lakha have been sidelined, and so there's not that like life to it as before, like the youth essentially, right? I mean, people are still supporting, people are still uh, those same people are still there doing it because this is their livelihoods and whatnot. But like, it's lost like a little flame or something without those
Mm,
guys. But yeah, when they make a return, like they're actually having discussions now. I think the Kisan unions, um, the leaders had a meeting, an informal or secret meeting about whether they should
yeah.
bring Lakka back into the fold in
Wow.
meaning like yeah to revive the energy levels the because like these guys are like the heart of the movement, right? And they're coming from a Sikh perspective and a Sikh way of looking and seeing it as an attack on Sikhi and Punjab. So it's a bit different, but I mean the protest has grown. It's going across uh, India and different parts. So like it's fucking strong, and these guys are not going anywhere. But like everything will have its ups and downs. Like the protests will have like the high points. Because this is a long essentially war, right? Like it's not going away overnight. So I mean, it'll have its ups and downs, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean.
And you know what you know what I kind of noticed, right? Since Deep went into jail, is that is it me or do you think that more people are speaking up for the sick aspect of the protests? Oh look, I think we got Tech Guy back.
He's in two screens. Tech guy, you back?
Uh,
um,
oh, what the fuck?
cat,
You got your other screen open.
you gotta close the other screen, man. This guy's actually a tech guy. Oh,
No, actually,
Jesus.
how's this?
Yeah,
Way
it's
better, right?
better. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
Where
you.
are
I'm
you
using
now?
another computer. I'm using my work computer. It's way more reliable than my piece of shit personal computer.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll
All right, man, continue. I interrupted.
yeah, Vinny, what were you saying? We were talking about the
What were we talking about?
the farmers protests, and we are talking about La
Yeah.
Casadana and Deep Sidhu
Yeah.
and
Oh
where
yeah,
they're at
more
now.
taking like so basically what I was saying, going back to what I was saying, I feel like you know how after the 20 like when January 26th happened, people were like oh kind of shying away from Sikhi, right? I feel like a little bit and now that it's kind of reversed since Deep Sidhu went into jail and now I feel like people are more speaking up for that, speaking up for him and kind of
Yeah, well, I mean,
the
people are realizing like he's in jail. What did he do? What crime? Like Ravi Singh posted on his Instagram the other day. Like, what did Deep Sidhu do? Why is he in jail? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
why is it? Why should I be ashamed to say their names or support them? Like, they're part of this farmers' protest. Like, and they're huge parts of it. And like with this is the thing with these Kisan leaders like Rajyal. They've got a different. They're not Sikhi oriented. They're comrades, and they're close with. So Rajyal was on a panel. I don't know if you heard. He was on a panel with the nephew, I believe, of KPS Gill.
Oh
Okay,
shit.
and he was defending his. I don't know if it's his uncle or chacha or whatever. It's his relative. It could be even his grandson. I don't know, but he was defending KPS's tactics in Punjab, and what he was responsible for how many deaths, like the genocide that was happening towards the Sikhs and continues to happen, like like so these guys are associating with these guys. They're close with the Badals. They're close with all these other power centers, right? And so it's like you can't trust these fuckers. So
Hell's no.
right,
No
like
way. Like, and then you hear that Sonia Aman, um, whose
yeah,
daughter is she? She's
her
like
dad was in a junta, man. He worked for the
he was
government.
in a
He,
John.
he
Yeah,
yeah, he gave things up. Fuck
yeah.
that
He gave
guy.
Singh's up. Like I was reading that one post where, so basically, if Singh's would cross through his band, he would,
Yeah, fire the
he would
gun.
fire a shotgun to make noise to the police that look, you have people coming, like
Yeah,
Singh's coming, and they would like,
and
you know,
just there's people like that in this protests. I mean, it's so big, but that's why these like guys like Lakka and Deep are so important because they'll hold these people, they'll call these people out and say what you know
What
what they
needs to
should
be
be
said.
saying, what needs to be
Yeah.
said. So, but yeah, I mean that's where we're at. It's gonna keep going. Summer's coming. It's gonna get really hot, so it'll be interesting to see, how they handle that. And you get a lot of, I think there was, what is it, like I think malaria is a concern over the summer months.
Oh
COVID is
yeah.
now rising again in
Yeah.
India. Like Modi's government is, they're not exporting. They put a halt to like AstraZeneca, the one that's made there. They put a halt to exports because I think they need it for because the cases are
Yeah.
rising so much. So yeah, there's fucking there's a lot of
So
shit going on.
yeah, a lot of shit going on there.
So
Hopefully, people stay safe,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right.
but yeah,
Um,
Cam, you good now? Can you join us here?
I believe
Okay,
so. I'm on another
so
computer
Cam,
now.
Cam, you're Cam's from the U.S. Cam's he's a you're
Washington.
half Bangladeshi, right?
Yeah, my dad's Bengali, my mom's from
Yeah, so
Pakistan.
he's yeah, he's from the region, so he doesn't have any, I guess, direct
He's from
connection to
somewhere over there.
yeah in
You know,
in Punjab. But Cam, you've been following the protests, right? Like what got you, I guess, 'cause you don't have like a familial tie, right?
no,
So like
not at
what
all.
got you into the protest or interested, and you've been supporting it. So like what's that all about?
So the way that I see it is, if there's people that I care about that feel affected by something, then I will like put myself in that thing's way. So I mean, like I have friends, um, obviously people that are close to me, like Vin,
Yeah.
family, like my fiance's wife, like they actually like are like hard laboring farmers, and
All right, so you do have a
I
technically a direct connection now.
I mean, no, even beyond that, it's I I don't know. I just expect better from India.
I
Like
know
not
Cam's
the
been
people live in
supporting
India, but
from day
like
one too.
So when you say I expect better
yeah.
from India, is this been like an eye opener? Did you not know like what was happening before? Because it's a long history of what's happening there. Like the atrocities have been happening. I mean, specifically with the Sikhs and then other minorities from like day one, from partition, the British Raj. Like, were you familiar with that before? Now you're saying it's like an eye opener, or like seeing like
I have been aware of it for a long time, pre farmers protest, and my dad, who's a big, my dad loves India, the country. He just doesn't like Modi, and my dad's been drilling like anti-Modi sentiment into my head since like 2016, and I never listened because I actually don't care about politics. I haven't like I didn't. I don't think I voted in the 2016 elections. I voted in 2020. Like it's not that I didn't want to. I just didn't feel
bad
motivated.
guy,
Yeah.
man?
Anyways, before anybody cancels me, I will say I've been surrounded by it, but I've been pretty much like I kind of kept myself out of politics. Uh, but this time around, when I heard around, when honestly, as soon as I heard about what's going on in India, something didn't smell right, and so I felt like I should do something to just to say something. I mean, in general, like in 2020, I've become more aware of like social issues, not just in India, but like in North America. I've tried to play an active role in, whatever, like the Black Lives Matter movement. I feel like I pretty played a pretty active role in that.
Do you
And
owe that
this
to COVID, or is that
for sure.
yeah?
For sure, like just like spending. You're at home, so your dimensions of reality are a little bit different. You know, in some ways you have less distractions, but in other ways you have more distractions, right? Like you have a lot of
Yeah,
distractions on the
yeah.
internet,
I wouldn't
but
say they're like not more distracted. You have less distractions, but you have more awareness, of, right? Of like
yeah,
what's going on around you, and there are so many things happening around us. So I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't say that it's a distraction, but like, yeah, we do have less distractions. We are more focused on what's happening around us and our lives, right? Like, and people close in our
Yes.
lives. So it's like, it's
S-
fucking,
and you know, I mean, I don't want to get too hooked up on the semantics, but like things that grab your
yeah.
attention, those things have changed. The composition of what takes your attention for me has changed, and I think like a lot of people have like spent time digging into my own family history, and you guys talk about, you look at your own history and you think about like, if you don't know where you came from, it's like, how do you know where you're supposed to head? And I think a part of that informs what your values should be, and you kind of have to align your actions behind that. And so for me, that really meant being a little bit more vocal about things that just don't seem right. Simple as that. You don't have to put a nationality on it. You don't have to put a religion on it. It was just, for me, it was simple as that. And that's why, I mean, with the farmers' protest, I mean, Vin, I think they announced the shutting down India, whatever, or march
Yeah,
to
the
Delhi
bond.
like on November 26th. I think like within like 3 days, I'm like, guys, let's just fucking organize this. I think I have enough information to have a reasonable stance on this, so let's just fucking run with it. So
That's
That
cool.
was awesome.
That's why Cam is a good guy, folks. He does the
Great,
right
great
thing.
guy.
No, it's good, and it's I think the other
The
thing that
good,
it's doing
the
is
good thing about Cam, sorry to cut you off. The good thing about the Cam is that not only does he vocal about it, but he actually tries and do stuff about it. So, for instance, the Black Lives Matter thing. I think Cameron, if you want to expand on this, but Cameron helped project manage an app for the grassroots um, project, which I'm not sure if it went through or not, but that, and then also helped raise a little bit of money through Plan Events when it started gaining attention, right?
so just so everyone knows,
yeah,
Vin and Cameron are business partners and co-founders of Plan Events, which is Desi or Indian or South Asian wedding platform where you can find vendors, review vendors. So it helps you pick, shit for your make hair and makeup for your wedding, your
Yeah,
cake person, whatever it is. Which
yeah,
is, I mean, it was needed, but obviously, I'm sure you guys are waiting for the shit to open up here.
actually, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but 2020 was definitely like our biggest year of growth, without a doubt. Um, but I don't want to dig too much into that. I do want to kind of touch on like what Vin was saying. Yeah, there was basically Sean
King, yeah,
King.
Yeah,
Sean
Sean
King,
King.
Yeah, I got, you don't want to confuse with Sean Kingston, who's like a singer, but Sean King has the Grassroots Law Project, and I didn't know a ton about that, but it got my attention, and so I kind of pitched this idea, and like nobody listened. So then instead, I just recruited a bunch of people, like software engineers, to build an app with me, and we built an app. It just tells you like real time any police killing in the U.S., who the officer was, who the police department was, who got killed, links to articles. And I mean, it was not like the biggest thing, but I'm more of me personally. I like to have active contribution versus like I'm not a vocal. I'm more action oriented than vocal.
Yeah, you
fair enough.
contribute
Um,
you're contributing in your way, which I mean, I'm sure the app was useful for these for people, right? Like it's pretty knowing, yeah. So
yeah,
that's so you're doing your part, Cam. That's what I'm taking away here. You're out there doing,
yeah,
you're making the world a better place, Cameron.
yeah. One app at a time,
That's all you
hopefully.
can do, man. That's all you can do. So no, that's pretty. That's good. I mean, and all of this ties in. Like there's so many protests happening around the world. Myanmar with the military junta there now. Like they're killing. I think they're, if I could be mistaken, but over 200 deaths already,
Holy shit!
right? Like they killed like a 7-year old, I think, girl as well. Uh, I think she was walking home or something. But like, I mean, it's crazy. And
Why,
then you have, huh?
why are they killing? Okay, this might seem controversial.
The military did a coup d'état, a
Yeah,
coup. They
okay,
pulled a
they
coup
did.
that that An Sung or whatever her name is, they gave her that Nobel Prize, but then she was like responsible for all the atrocities against the Rohingya Muslim that
Yeah.
were in East. So there's like, I mean, it's not like they've removed a bad or a good person, but anyways, the military took over, and so the people have been protesting. Like they have massive protests, massive shutdowns. So like you have what's happening across India. You have this happening in Myanmar. You have this happening in Belarus. You have this happening, all
Russia.
in the United States. Like you have protests, uprisings all around the world. You have strong men in power all around the world. Like it's a fucking unique time, and with you throw COVID in the mix, like it's pretty. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have a question. So like, there's obviously a lot of regions with their own problems, and I remember, I think like a year and a half ago, I started seeing people on LinkedIn, which is like a professional network, right? And they're like posting things about something about Armenians in like I think Russia. I don't know the details, but
Yeah.
I guess there was some issue where, and if anybody knows a little bit about Armenian history, there's a long in the last 100 years, there's a long history of persecution of Armenians from like their autonomous region, right? Because it's another community that expands borders, and I didn't think anything of it, right? And I was like, whatever. And then once the farmers' protest happened in India, it's like suddenly I care about it, and I'm like trying to get other people to care about it. So then there's kind of like this not guilt, but it's more like how do you expect people to care about what you care about when you didn't really dig into what they care about? I mean, what do you guys
Well,
you guys
fuck,
have any thoughts on that?
Sikhs speak up everywhere. So when people don't speak up for Sikhs, then it's like, oh shit. Because anytime you see any issue anywhere, there's always Sikhs, and like we don't constitute a large population, but Sikhs speak up everywhere. So like, it's disappointing when the majority don't speak for the minority. Um, so it's always been. So the minority just have to be extra loud. Vinny?
No, I agree with that. Um, Back to what Cameron was saying about the Armenian thing, and I know a little bit of it, but not enough to really um, say on this podcast, right? Um, so I'll
There's
definitely look at that later. But
there's the Armenian genocide, and now they have a long history because they split up from I think it was the Ottoman Empire after world wars, and then there's like a long history there that it's pretty fucked up
mm,
in itself. There's just so many issues. What you see is like minorities and like just getting fucked up. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where
Yeah,
you are, minorities are getting fucked. They got the Uyghur Muslims in
yeah.
China. Like anywhere you look, minorities, the Catalonians in Spain,
So was
they're
it?
suppressed.
My question to you guys: was it like this before, or is it just coming out now?
No, but you have like, I mean, throughout history you have this has always existed where you have like
Yeah,
now it's the American Empire. Before you had the Roman Empire, you had the Ottoman Empire, you had all these different empires. They rise and they do this, but then change happens when they start like pushing people too far, right? Then you see change, and like gradually you'll see periods of peacetime and good time and the culture and everything's flourishing, and then you get the wrong people in power, and that's always going to happen because it's too much of a power is
yeah,
too like it attracts people from everywhere. So you're always gonna have but like I don't know, I guess with social media, with everything we have now, it's like we're able to see this. Like it's been happening. We didn't have that access to information. Like even if you look at like 1984 with the Sikh genocide, did we have that information? Like no, our parents like didn't have that access to information. Now you're seeing all these atrocities that happen across the country and other parts of India
yeah.
because we have access to information. So like, yeah, they've happened before, and they'll happen
And it's
now,
kind
and they'll continue to happen.
and it's kind of like you guys said in the beginning, where um, a lot there's during COVID, like your attention, your focus on all these fucking issues is you're putting a lot more focus in it because you're not at work all day, right?
Yeah,
You're kind of working from
hmm
home and you're paying more attention to what's going on around the world, and a lot more people are sharing stories on social media and putting out the
See,
awareness, right?
it's not a bad thing, eh? I don't know, Cam. What do you think?
No, I don't. I don't think it's. I definitely don't think it's bad. I think it's better to know more than not know more. Right? I was gonna go back to like, for example, the Sikh genocide in India, right? I just thought it was interesting. Like, from what I understand, India's has not. I mean, India doesn't seem to acknowledge anything Sikh really. Everything seems to get layered with like a Hindu interpretation of the Sikh community, Sikh faith, and
Well,
anything good, anything positive that Sikh history has contributed to Indian history. But that's besides the fact. I thought going back to the Armenian thing, I thought it was interesting that even like Turkey to this day, at least unless news has come out in the last 2 years that I haven't read, Turkey does not
no, they
acknowledge like
don't. No,
that.
that's a problem. That's why they're having.
And and so I think there's
Well,
something to
that's
be
part of the
said when
problem.
you have yeah. So I think there's something to be said when you have a society that wants to create a homogenous identity, and they want to force everybody to fit that homogenous identity. So you have that in China. They have the ethnic Han identity, and that's supposed to be like the essence of what it means to be Chinese. And I think in some factions of India, without getting too politically incorrect, that exists. There's like the certain view of what India was and what it is today and what it should be. And you see that
Well, that's like
see that
Modi
in
and the BJP. Like
I
that is
can't hear
their.
you.
I said the Modi and the BJP, right? Like that's their Hindu Rashtra. That's what they're trying to create is
The
one
Hindutva
homogenous.
mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And so and you had that like even in Turkey. I mean, even maybe people from Turkey might disagree, but in many ways, Turkey is like it's a conglomeration of many ethnicities, and then they had their leader in the early 20th century say there's a Turkish identity and nothing else. And then groups like the Armenians and to an extent like the Kurds and stuff were like, no, you got to be Turkish, you know. Um, so I think that forcing a majority identity onto a minority definitely has its problems, and it just seems like it's there in India, and honestly, like a lot of countries. I mean, including the countries like my mom comes from and like my dad comes from for sure, like in their own regards. So
Yeah,
I'm not trying to like
Pluralism is
belong to
the
there.
way, man. Pluralism.
Is that what Canada has?
I mean, cat. It's got more than what whatever it is you guys have in the U.S., man. I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but I wanted to ask you about the mass shootings, man. Like there was the one where the Asian women got killed, and that was where was that? That was Atlanta, right?
Atlanta,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
this one that just went down was in Denver, right? The
Yes,
grocery
yeah,
store,
yeah,
10
yeah.
people died. Like, dude, it's fucked up. Like, what do people
Was
th
that grocery store one a racist attack?
uh
I actually don't
I
know. The
don't
guy
know.
has like an Arabic name, but I don't know what his.
I, th
The thing is, like, the guy has an Arabic name, but I don't know what his race
I think
is.
I think he's a white guy, man. I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So
Just
it's like I not that your identity has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
no, but I mean,
Of course,
they
like
could use, who knows what they could use that fucking story. You know what I mean? It was weird how the information came out. They wouldn't release his name. It was like really slow developing. Whereas the other guy, I don't know.
Right.
It's fucked up. But like, what do people in the U.S. like? What is it? Like you're in the States, but you're in Washington, which is a bit more like
liberal.
yeah. So like, but
Yeah,
what do people think?
it's hard. You know, it's hard to say because I lean a little bit left, and Seattle and the areas I'm in, the people I spend time with, all lean a little bit left. So I don't have a ton of insight into like the opposite view. My guess
Mm.
is probably there's some people that are all about gun control, and there's other people who are not. I'll be honest, I don't have a very strong opinion about it because I don't know enough about the problem. Like, I know we have mass shootings, but is it
You
because,
know that guns are a problem in the United States.
Yeah.
You have a
I,
gun problem, and that's why people are dying from guns. Like you
Yeah.
got.
I mean, well, you have the other argument. Is it the guns or the people who have the
No,
guns?
man,
You
it's
know,
the
like
guns.
I
It's
actually
Look
hundred
don't
at the
know.
percent.
stats
People are
around the
fucked
world. I
up, of
mean,
course.
no, you could
If
have
people are
gun like
fucked,
you.
look, yo, people are fucked up, and the fact that they can buy guns is the issue. Is them buying the guns. Like people are fucked up everywhere, man. But the ability, if
Yeah,
them,
buy
they
guns
have the
in
ability to.
Canada.
So that's a Vin. You're 100% right. Like you can just walk into like a fucking store and just pick up like buy your groceries, buy a gun, and like walk out, and there's like no check. There's like literally
You can buy a gun at Walmart.
you're like it's fucked. Like you know what I mean. So it's in the hands of people who probably shouldn't have it. Like have guns, but have stringent like in Canada you have to do a test. You have to fucking
Pay
even the way
money for it.
even the way you hold the way the gun has to be kept in your home. Um, there's a lot that goes along with it that makes it a lot safer.
Which I agree with. I mean, if you were saying, if the argument is we need to make sure the wrong people don't have access to guns, I'm all for that. And I think, without knowing all the details, I think that's more of the problem than not. I mean, a gun is just like a tool, right? And a tool on its own, like I'm not
Yeah,
a
but
tool on its own.
it's just odds. If you have more of them out there, the odds of someone who shouldn't have it getting their hand.
So
So I believe you should be able to own a gun, right? Like
yeah,
you should be able to like, I've got my gun license. But like there should be a process that goes along with obtaining a gun license.
I I fully agree, dude. I fully agree, and I don't think that process exists here in the
No,
U.S.
it doesn't.
I don't think it does. So I do think it should. I do think it exists. I also think that you would get probably a more interesting perspective from like people in my hometown that feel very strongly about guns and like whatever the first four amendments. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. There's not much resistance for me on that argument. I
What's
totally agree. Like, yeah,
your hometown is Olympia, right?
yep.
Olympia, Washington, folks.
Is that where you
Cameron
are right
said it
now?
here. He said they're just a bunch of gun toting.
Yeah.
Don't don't dox me.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
tough.
crazy, man. There's so much shit still going on in the U.S. The voter suppression in Georgia that's been going on. I think they arrested a lawmaker there. Um, she was knocking on the door of the governor as he was signing the bill, and like six cops came and arrested her. And she's black. Yeah, she's a lawmaker, and because they're literally trying to suppress the black vote now because they lost those seats in Georgia. Cam, you
What
must have heard
the
something
fuck?
about this. Yeah.
I did not. But
Oh shit.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I haven't been paid.
fuck.
I honestly, I don't have cable. I haven't had cable in like 15
I don't have cable. You just have the
years.
internet.
I don't watch the news. Um, I'm basically like a terrible global citizen in that regard. Honestly,
All right. Well, that's what's happening there. So it's pretty fucked up. Like, and there's efforts in other states like where they're trying to essentially fucking suppress the black vote now, right? They're making efforts to do this, so it's pretty fucked up. I don't know. I don't feel like a lot's gonna change in the U.S. between now and the next like it's too
Especially probably not with Biden.
no, it's so polarized, man. It's just fucked. Like it and it takes like generations to now like I think change people's mentalities. It's fucked. And I don't see like the global economy improving to a point where it's gonna
Change people's
make
minds.
like that change would happen a lot more rapidly if the economy's good and people have jobs and all that. So I don't think
Yeah.
that's gonna
But
happen.
you don't think that's gonna happen?
Not anytime soon. Not the way things are going. So I mean,
Yeah.
fuck. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's so much crazy shit going
Yeah,
on. What do you think?
like, you know what's crazy is like even here in Canada, in Edmonton at least, we in the construction industry now you could tell that a lot more people are charging for everything up front than putting stuff on credit because a lot more people are getting burned
Oh,
now.
really?
Where yeah, it's like I was talking to this one company, we need to buy what was it, some like controls, right? And they're like, yeah, we're not, you guys have to pay 100% up front even before we do the work, just because there's a lot more companies that are coming out and not paying. And it's
shit.
apparently it's happening like in a lot more sectors than you think. So you can tell if you're hearing stories like that now, just
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, like people
You're
are
gonna
on
have
edge.
bankruptcies. Yeah, people
It,
on edge losing
yeah,
jobs.
but real estate's through the roof right now everywhere, fucking across Canada somehow.
So I got
Yeah,
interesting thing about that is this is all kind of anecdotally, right? So I mean, my hometown is a small town. It's like the equivalent of like Red Deer, but I live in like the city center of Seattle, and right now, if you try to sell your home in the city center of Seattle, at least the people that I've seen, they can't even sell it for sticker price. They gotta bump it down like 5% below sticker
really.
price. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So here's the interesting thing, but like in my hometown and suburbs, you will have like 10 offers on your home, and then you'll be able to sell it for 7 to 9% higher than sticker price. So definitely like suburb, from what I've seen, suburb real estate is appreciating, and then in the core center, like in the 1 mile radius of a city center, it's the complete opposite. It's like it's interesting to see that dynamic.
And it was only a
Yeah.
couple years ago where it's like properties were crazy, right? The values and appreciated.
Yeah, I mean there was a time where like my where I live, every year for the last 7 years it was going up like 8 to 10% a year, and 2020 2021 were the first years where year over year it was going down like 1%, which is like terrible. I mean that doesn't even
Well,
make
I
any
mean, if
sense.
you've been getting 8 to 10%
I
for
mean,
7 years and now you've lost a percent, I
I
think
I mean it ain't no fucking Bitcoin, okay, but
I mean, Bitcoin's up and down fucking every other hour, man. Couple percent here, couple percent there.
I
Um,
mean
That's a healthy economy, man. I feel like
yeah, it's a natural economy. That's what it is. It's the way. I mean, you still got whales. You got people trying to make, dumps at the right moment, whatever. But like, I mean, it's better than what we have, this fixed fucking economy. But Cam, that's what I wanted to ask you, because I like to hear everyone's views on Bitcoin, crypto, the space, and obviously you had heard about it even before I did, or were like dabbled in it, what, in 2017, right?
yeah.
So how did you come about? How did you find Bitcoin and this space, and then like you kind of like fucked off for a bit, and now I guess you're back into the space. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean I first heard about Bitcoin in like 2013 2014. I work with a bunch of engineers, and of course the origins of Bitcoin is very software oriented. And I had a coworker, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just put like $100 a month into Bitcoin." This is in 2014, and that was the first and last time I heard about Bitcoin. And then I got into fitness, and there's a website called bodybuilding.com. Maybe you heard about it. And there's like
Yeah.
a lot of different people. There's like people who like to lift. There's a lot of incels. There's a lot of 4chaners. These are like the filth of the internet, basically, for those who don't know what those are. And then there were people in 2016 talking about something called Ethereum, and that was in 2016. And as people were saying, "Oh, Ethereum is like $9 a coin," and I'm like, you guys want to know what I thought at the time? I thought they were talking about a video game. I thought they're talking about like RuneScape or some RPG game, and I thought Ethereum was.
Like most people.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then that was like in like October, November 2016. And then after like 4 or 5 months, like in like February of 2017, I'm like, maybe I should Google what Ethereum is. Maybe it's not a currency from a video game. So I Googled it, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's like $80 a coin. So, and it's not a video game thing, it's like a thing you buy in Coinbase. So then I started scrambling, looking for a way to buy some Ethereum, and I messaged some stranger on bodybuilding.com who actually had Ethereum. And I was like, yo, let me send you money on PayPal, and then you send me money on Coinbase. I can't buy stuff on Coinbase because I haven't verified my account, yada yada. I'll send you PayPal. You send me Ethereum, Ether, not Ethereum, Ether, like Coinbase, and that's kind of how I got into it. And then after that, 2017, I was very obsessed with it. I built an app about like an app related to Ethereum. Um, t- yeah, I really got into it. And then after 2018. uh, came around, there was a lot of people very similar to the people that are here today. 2 years ago, they weren't talking about crypto at all, and now they are. So there was like an entire same version of those people in 2017, including Hart.
Yeah, but okay, so you were in it 2017, and then you were in it, and then you were out, and then you didn't get back into it until recently, right? Like
Yeah,
why did you drop out?
I like. It's not so much that I dropped
Or
out. It's more like I stopped buying.
yeah,
No,
stop paying attention to it, whatever you call it.
it's because the bubble burst, and I was like, okay, the bubble burst. I'm gonna wait till Bitcoin hits a bottom, and then after like a couple years, I just
Because it dropped to like 3,000 after the first big
yeah.
bubble when it hit like 19. So were you like this shit's going to zero?
No, I was like, I'm gonna wait for it to hit the bottom even more beyond $3,000. And what happened was I waited so long that I forgot my passwords and I forgot everything.
Yeah, so but did you not have were you like obviously there's people in like the Bitcoin maxis, right?
Yeah,
Like they're crazy, but they're like Bitcoin like so if anyone doesn't know Bitcoin maxis are Bitcoin maximalists. Like they don't touch any of these other altcoins. They're just Bitcoin ride or die, right? Like so were your view of Bitcoin at the time, it wasn't obviously like you didn't think it was going to where it is today or where it was going to go because if you saw a drop from like 19 to 3, I mean, at some point, whether you got it at 3 or 2 or 1 or 4 or 5, if you had, in your head thought it was going to a certain place in the future, it wouldn't really make a difference, right? So was that not you at that point? Like where were you?
I was a little bit more emotional about it. I actually thought my idea was I want to see it drop back into the hundreds before I buy it back in. Obviously, that was greedy because it never went below like 3 Gs.
I mean, that's like fucking ridiculously greedy.
so, so yeah, and then I saw it go, and I saw it hit 8 or 10, and I'm like, oh fuck, like 8 or 10. What if I buy it and it goes back down to 3? 8 or 10 was like what 9 months ago. And at the time, instead of buying crypto, I started like getting silver instead because I felt like it's like so. I'm getting there. I'm getting it. It's not fiat. It's a hedge against fiat against printing money. And then honestly, I slept on it. I slept on it way too fucking long in 2021. And my little brother, who's younger and a little bit more apt at this stuff, was like, "Oh, you should have bought it like 8 months ago." And now my little brother is teaching me again about crypto. So
Yeah,
God
no,
damn.
it it's fucking well, I mean, you're back into it. Now what do you think about it right now and where it is like so it's been I think it hit all-time high last week, 61-ish, 61 and change, and now it's dropped. Like it's been hovering on 55 and it went down to like 50, just over 50 today. So like I mean, it's volatile, right? And so people like start freaking out. They're like, the fucking world is ending. Bitcoin's going to zero. I mean, it's at 50K. It was at, it was at like 5-6 last year. So what do you like? I guess like yeah. What are your thoughts about it now, going into the future? How do you see Bitcoin, and how do you see it? Like what kind of price do you think it could reach? And are you like you're someone who's like, I need to, for my future, I need to like, buy Bitcoin now. Like I need to be involved in this space.
so I think that the future. I mean, I've always thought the future of Bitcoin was up. was up.
It's winking at me.
I always thought I always felt always meaning since 2017 felt the trajectory of Bitcoin was upwards. But I was greedy about how low can it go so I can get the most gain. Now it's more about okay, how can I just keep dollar cost averaging up? But the big caveat is I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm a big Ethereum fanboy. I've been a big Ethereum fanboy since like 2017. Um, the
We'll talk. What's your view on Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin right now?
I think Bitcoin is an awesome role model for things like Ethereum, and I think Ethereum could learn a lot from the struggles of Bitcoin.
But they're two different things altogether,
They are.
right? Like one's a platform. Bitcoin's not, but you can't do anything else with Bitcoin aside from what it is, which is a store of value.
That's
Like it has no other use case.
that's
So
true.
like, how do you like you can't. I mean, you could hope for that, but that's never going to happen. Like they're just two different things. Whereas so much else is built on the Ethereum platform, right? Like the
Right.
DeFi space. So like, how do you specifically take everything away? What is your thoughts on Bitcoin?
I I'm a little bit influenced by the space of software and technology, and the one thing I've learned about software and technology is platforms have a there's a multiplier effect with platforms because you basically benefit off of all the things that build on top of you, and that has that's what appeals to me about Ethereum. But it's all like theoretical, right? Like I'm taking things from a different world of software, like old software, and I'm trying to apply it to crypto. And that kind of model, that's what attracts me to Ethereum. It's very possible that Bitcoin ends up being fulfilling its like whatever 2009 prophecy, and then I'm just like left holding Ether. That
No, but you can play with you can have both. They have two different use cases. You can trade one into the other one, right?
yeah.
Like, so do you not? That's what I'm saying. Do you not? So you would buy, Ether more than you would buy Bitcoin.
That
Like,
I
and
wouldn't. That's literally what I have right now. I literally don't like. I
no, no,
barely
but,
have
but
any
that's
Bitcoin.
fine. But like, is your goal to like, so you can trade in other cryptos, right? Like, obviously, because some of the returns. But like, is your goal to keep it in Ethereum? Then would you hold it there, or would you move it back into Bitcoin, which is the store of value?
I right now I don't have any plans to swap my Ether for Bitcoin. I don't have plans to buy Bitcoin right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was basically. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the space, which is like right now. It's like I don't know, Vinny. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin? I'd like to know.
Cameron, do you think it's a bubble?
I felt that way in 2017 until 2020 came around. I do think
Yeah,
there's another bubble, but it's a cyclical bubble. And then I looked at the graph since 2009 of the halvening, and I think
yeah,
every halvening, the halvenings are preceded by a bubble. So sure, is this particular instance a bubble? Probably, but this bubble is not going to be worse than the next. This bubble is like the highest lows of this will still be higher than the
And
lowest
the
highs of the.
previous, yeah.
Yeah,
I get what
so
you're
I
trying to
mean,
say. Yeah.
just looking at the last 12 years, I'm going off of historicals. I wish I did this like 4 years ago, but like now I'm like looking at it again, older and wiser.
I mean, everyone's looking at it now. I mean, it's caught the attention of, like I said, we were like this has been around since 2009. I've all heard about it. I didn't get involved in it until 2019, and like now, just I tell people, and it's just like you said, the network. Like you're just telling, it's growing, and it's a fucking amazing space, man. Like everything that's happening in this space is like is just so much happening.
Yeah.
Bitcoin itself, what it represents, what it can do for people, how it affects governments. But you have like these big like today there was I think it was today. So the CIO of the George Soros's fund, I think I mentioned this, Cam, that so she came out and they asked her like how does the Soros fund look at Bitcoin, and she said it would be out in the fringes maybe if the government hadn't debased the fiat currency, the US dollar. Like, how much I think they put 25% more into they printed essentially.
Yeah.
And so now you've made Bitcoin something you can't ignore. That's what essentially she's saying. And they asked her, "Do you own it personally?" And she started like giggling. And he's like, "Okay, your answer kind of gives that away, right?" She's like, "I won't say."
So I mean,
Um,
I will say you guys. I'm not a finance guy, but you guys have heard of like a black swan event, right?
yeah, Nicholas Talib, he wrote
Ye-
that book. Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, like, I really feel like whether you believe COVID was man-made or not, it has become the black swan event for the world economy, and I think that's something I didn't factor in about the future of Bitcoin. So like, I'm telling you, like right now, I don't buy Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that 2 months from now that I won't start buying Bitcoin. So
you have your eye on it. You know the
yeah,
value of what it will. So you wouldn't keep it in dollars, is what you're saying. You'd rather keep your
exactly.
money in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, instead of what I've been doing for a while. Like instead of diverting into the stock market or precious metals, I might say, well, let's divert into Bitcoin. What's the most that you lose by dropping some percentage of your income every whatever
Nothing. It just goes up when you put it in
every
Bitcoin.
2 weeks, every four, if you got money that you don't care if you lose it, and you think that
Yeah.
something will probably go up in the long term, especially based on the last 12 years of its birth, what do you have to lose? So
I mean, everyone should have exposure to it, right?
yeah. Oh,
Like you can't with inflation going where it's going, um, everything costs fucking more now. So you can't have it in cash. You can't have it in the bank account. It's losing its value sitting in the bank account day by day,
yeah.
right? And these fuckers are gonna keep printing more and more. So yeah, no, it's definitely I like to get opinions on it. It's I love it.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is
You
But
see,
yeah,
I just have old. If you get older and you get kind of stuck, you get fixated on things that you knew, and it's hard for you to move away from those things. So like when I got into crypto, I got really into Ether. So it's taking me time to like be like maybe Ether is not the only thing to be in. Maybe I should be in something else.
no, I mean the space is so much. So now you have like decentralized finance, like these projects that are coming up. I was also talking to you when Vinny showed up late here, like Web3, right? Like so it's like the next evolution of the internet where like where you're getting privacy. You can't people can't even see your IP addresses. Like everything is gonna like they've got such crazy NFTs. Everyone's heard of NFTs now, right? Like fucking that's like
Okay,
that's the big craze with the fucking what do you call it?
art.
The NBA Top Shot. Like that's huge where you can buy like highlights, you can like
Oh
some of it's
yeah.
stupid, but NFTs like have you heard of games like Decentraland and like Sandbox?
No.
So they're like the metaverse, like so you it's a digital world. So
Oh
you can
shit.
buy land, there's land scarcity, you can it's like its own marketplace. And so recently, I can't remember which platform or which game it was on, somebody sold a virtual home for $500,000.
yo, that's crazy.
Okay? Like a virtual home. You can buy virtual land
Yeah.
for like 50 and people all these in this space, they're all like young
Can
kids,
you
man.
like? So can you like buy a house and rent it out on that, like on that
You
thing?
could rent your land you can
Like, are
rent
you
your
making
land.
off?
You can make money. So you can rent your land out to other gamers for whatever specific use case because they have like communities and they're trying to grow their like it's fucking crazy, you know.
What the
It's
fuck is
it's
this?
funny like I
Can
don't
you?
think I would do that, but like it's there. And it's massive. Like if somebody could sell a virtual home for 500,000, who gives a fuck, right? If there's a willing buyer, who cares if you're selling virtual land or real land?
It's a
Like,
market. Yo, so
right? It's
actually, it's funny. In group chat, remember Vin, that website called Earth 2.0? It was like 6 months
Yeah.
ago. It was the same thing, and I was like, hella. This guy named Sharm. He's like Harvey's like internet
Yeah.
friend. Okay, actually,
internet friend.
yeah. Look, Vin, I gotta take a piss. Can you explain? I'll be right back. I'll be
So
right back.
it's
Explain.
I don't remember the exact story,
Well,
but
clearly you don't know the story. Fucking.
no, it's I was in the fucking group, right? But these guys fucking
We'll wait
talking
for
about
him to come back. Yo, how's your dad's song doing? The one with Binder Bajwa.
I don't know. Let's check it out right now. How many views we got?
That's Binder Bajwa song. It's supporting the
Chande.
Kisan Chande. Yeah, it's a good song. This guy's dad Ekbaz Productions released the song. Vinny, what was your role on it?
I was the producer, the executive
No, you
producer,
weren't the
man.
producer. What did it say on the fucking thing? Don't make me look it up. Just
I'll tell
what did
you.
it say? It was like
Project
headmaster.
head, project head, and the
Headmaster Vinny Panesser.
project
Headmaster.
head. That's right,
Project head.
man. Put some respect on my name.
You didn't do shit, man.
Dude, I did a
So,
lot, man. I did a lot. That song was good, man. It was a
it was
good
a good
song.
song. I like the song.
Yeah,
It was Binder's voice is fucking solid, man. That's
yeah,
the
he has a
thing.
solid voice. Solid
Especially for
voice.
that kind of song.
Yeah,
Aga,
that kind of song.
Aga, Kamran.
So Kamran, I did not do any justice to the story, so you're gonna have to repeat the story, man.
Okay, so Harv has his internet friend. His name is Alex Sharma. Okay. Okay, this guy sits there. He's in this chat. He's like, "Oh, I'm like half Assyrian and like half white, and you guys are a bunch of stinky packies." And I'm like, "Dude, are you sure you're half Assyrian? Because Sharma is like generally a kind of like a Hindu name." So it's like, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm like always hella confused. Anyways, that's besides the fact. The guy was like pitching this thing called Earth 2.0, which is just a digitized version of like Google Maps, and
Yeah.
you can basically buy whatever parcels of land. And I was gonna do it. I was literally too lazy to learn how to use how to sign up, create a fucking password.
Yeah, I mean, you need time. It's not for
Yeah,
everyone.
exactly.
Like, I don't think I would, the chance of me participating in this digital world, you know, not very high, but like, fuck, I'll look into it. I mean, like, it's
I
fucking,
mean, I wish I
it's
did that.
interesting what's going on, right? Like, there's so much shit going on in this space. Anyways, it's a crazy space, man. Like, and it's good to learn about the space because this is fucking opportunities.
So
So,
so did Sharma buy some land and did? I'm pretty sure they did,
Alex
right?
Sharma, the halfway Assyrian,
Yeah,
Yeah.
did he buy some?
the half
Because
white, half
one of my
Assyrian,
buddies,
definitely not Hindu, half white, half Assyrian guy that calls us stinky packies, even though the only packy in that 20-person room is like half of me. So, yeah.
so one of so one of my brother's friends bought the Golden Temple in Earth 3.0,
Who's your
and apparently it's worth a lot now.
Who's your brother's? First off, what friends does Prubby have that are not your
Good question,
that are
man.
not your friends?
No, no, my friends, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No,
I don't
mama.
know this character, man. Probably his work friend or something, but
Okay.
yeah, it's
Or
crazy.
Robbie's friends are Vin's friends.
Are you sure?
Robbie's friends are my friends, man. That's more like it.
um,
No, it's like, what are you
I
saying?
was, speaking of like digital technology, man, like Clubhouse. You're not gonna make any money off of it, but Clubhouse is fucking amazing, man.
Yo, did you read my thread that I retweeted on
No,
Clubhouse?
You can't tweet anything on Clubhouse. Oh no, on
No,
Twitter.
no, not. It was on Clubhouse itself, the platform,
Yeah.
on Twitter. So on Twitter, I retweeted a
About.
tweet, and
Okay.
it was a, oh yeah, okay,
Okay, okay. I'm not like a freaking
about
English
Clubhouse.
major. Yeah. Oh, what'd you say?
No, like I was somebody else's, and it talks about how this thing's he thinks it's gonna fail. Because the way to read, I'm telling you, this
oh,
thread,
that one.
maybe, yeah, like who knows it happens or not? I don't fucking give a fuck. But the thread and the way he runs you through it, and how like people will lose interest, like to keep people engaged and to having to monetize it, it just won't work. And it's his viewpoint. He's like, it could. He goes, I could be wrong, but he goes, this is how I think about it. And it's just, just read the thread because I won't do it justice on my Twitter. So fuck it.
I'll check it out. I mean, I feel like it's a crapshoot because how did Twitter?
Yeah, but Twitter's very different. It's very different how you can keep people engaged.
Now it is.
You're
How
not.
did it actually?
No, because on Twitter you can go and you can randomly, like, you have like news feeds and stuff. You don't have that on Clubhouse. You have random rooms, but you don't know what room to go.
They're not that random.
Yeah,
They are not that random.
they are that random. Or you're going to like specific rooms or events at a certain time. So it's not the same as like a Twitter or one of these other things. Then it becomes like, how are you going to get these people? Essentially, it's like a podcast on, right? A lot of people can't even participate. And if you want to
Live
hear like Elon
podcast.
Musk or Naval, it becomes like a podcast essentially. So why would you take it to, unless you're getting paid? Like, there's so many reasons. Read the thread. I recommend you read the thread. I agree. Clubhouse is like, it's innovative. It's something new. It's fucking crazy. Uh, but like, as far as longevity and whether you can monetize it, this guy's viewpoint is very interesting. So Sunny Chatta, even he was saying like that's a pretty interesting thread, and other people have read it. It's like it makes you just look at it from an entirely different perspective. Like, this is very possible. This is
Who's the author that thread again?
I'll find
Whoever it
it.
is, he's fucking interesting. Like he has a bunch of other stuff
I'll
that he talks about
I'll
that's
check
like
it
cool.
out. The thing is, even Twitter started out like Clubhouse. It started out with just
But it's not just. I get what you're saying. Like, trust me, it was hard for if this guy didn't write this, I would have not have even thought. I would be like, Clubhouse is going to the moon,
this is like gospel.
right?
This is
Like,
like gospel This is like the Antichrist of Clubhouse, isn't it? I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah,
It
no,
just
it's
needs to come
fucking
out on Android. It's not on Android, right? It's only
Vinny.
iPhone.
You've read the thread, right?
Dude,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty interesting, man. But
Clubhouse is so. I'll check it out. I will check it
Check
out,
it
and
out. Check it
I
out.
will follow up with
this
you.
guy, this guy
Or whatever.
says he hopes it works out. He wants
Yeah,
it
even
to work out.
the guy's like, I hope it works out, but he's like, I just can't see any way for it to work
I
out.
mean, I'm not married to
It's just,
Clubhouse, but you know, if Clubhouse works out, great.
No, it's just
It's
yeah,
something
it's
good.
just like an interesting perspective because it's all about perspectives, Cameron.
you know,
You
it's
have
like that.
yours.
Hey,
I have
Cameron.
mine.
So I showed Joe the picture where like you're one of the moderators with a bunch of like makeup artists.
Oh,
And it's just a
dude!
bunch of chicks.
You know what
Oh yeah.
you know who keeps giving me shit about that? Okay, so I have a buddy, his name is Varn. He was like the biggest country I've ever like fucking knew in my life. And this guy, all he does is try to ruin my relationship with Cammy. So every day he sends a screenshot, a group chat with me, Cammy, and his wife. And he's always like, oh, why is Cam always like the only dude in this group full of like Sulas with like these girls? And they're always he's like they're all high and like what is up with this? I'm like, dude, you don't understand. It's like my target market,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
This is the plan events target persona, dude. So, like I'm going over
Fuck.
to yeah.
It's
So
like you see a
Yeah.
bunch of chicks and there's like that one guy in the fucking middle.
it's like clean shaven dude, you know. I'm just like a good guy Cam.
Good
Good guy
guy
Cam,
Cam.
man.
Good guy Cam. I wanted to ask you, good guy Cam. I'm gonna call you good guy Cam now.
Good guy
Good guy
Cam. That's
Cam.
perfect.
You got your COVID vaccine, right?
Yeah, man. Like right here.
Yeah, I get it. You got it on your
Yeah.
shoulder. Which one did you get?
I got Moderna because Cammy found the place for me. Cammy got the Pfizer one and she's been sick for like 5 days, dude.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Really?
So she's like, don't get the Pfizer one. She said, get Moderna. So I got the Moderna one. Shot 1 out of 2.
Well, a couple of
Nice.
people. It's crazy. Like here, my grandparents got Pfizer. A lot of people got Pfizer, not really sick. And in America, Rena got Pfizer. She got sick. Cammy got Pfizer. She got sick.
I mean, everyone's gonna react to it differently. So
Yeah.
Does Rena?
obviously, good guy Cam is he's too much of a physical specimen to be affected by
Yeah, man. Like
some
deadlifting,
right,
220,
Cam?
225.
Deadlifting. Cam's in shape now.
Oh man, like
Cam's in
Cam's in shape,
shape.
man.
What do you weigh, Cam?
156 pounds, and ideally, I'd be very happy if I could be deadlifting double my body weight for reps.
You work out a lot?
Yes, I do. Although I don't look like it, I do work out a lot.
You
You
hesitated.
know,
What's a lot?
every day,
So
You work out every day?
every day.
So
That's a lot.
before COVID, like we used to travel a lot together, right? So it doesn't matter if we get fucked up and don't go to sleep till 3 a.m. or something. This guy will wake up 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Always he'll wake up on our trips and go for a run in the morning or go work out.
No,
before trips.
there's
Doesn't
a
matter
history
how
to it though,
fucking
man.
wasted we get.
There's a history to it. I was fat when I was like 11, 12, 13. Once you're fat, it's like if you become unfat, you never want to be fat again. Okay? Straight up. And I had this talk with my mom, and I was telling my mom, I was like, you know, like I appreciate you didn't put me on a diet, but one of the worst things you could do to your kid is to keep feeding them. Because as a dude,
Yeah.
you don't want to be a fat kid. Like not even dudes like you when you're fat
Yeah.
in the 5th grade. They're just like you're fucking fat. You got tits and shit. Get out of here. Like,
Yo, kids are fucking mean,
they
man.
do. Kids get mean from like the age of like 6. It's crazy.
Yeah, straight up. No, you can't fucking. So you were a fat kid. Now you're not a fat kid. You're good guy Cam.
Yeah.
Skinny fit, good guy Cam. So you're working out fucking every day. You obviously you're eating what? You're doing some diet. You're eating like once a day now.
1 meal a
Right
day.
now.
They call it OMAD.
One. For how long are you gonna do this for?
Honestly, I like it. I've been doing so. I was doing intermittent fasting for about 6 years. 16 hours no eating, 8 hours I eat, and now I'm just doing like 22 hours fasting. 2 hours I eat, and I've been doing this longer fast for like since September. I'll probably just do it forever, honestly.
You won't have any food.
No, literally no. I'm used to it now.
So, what is what do you why do you think this is beneficial for you? Do you think like what are the benefits of this?
It's beneficial for me because there's kind of two ways you can go about your diet. You can do the whole eat every 2 hours, okay? And for somebody where it's hard for them to gain weight, I think that makes sense. You eat basically 400 or 500 calories every 2 hours, okay? For me, when I was doing that, I was getting fat because I end up eating like 3,500 calories a day. But if I condense all the eating into 2 hours, I can only eat so many whole calories in that 2 hours before I feel full. So
Yeah.
I think it's good for people who have portion control issues. Like I have really big portion control issues. Like I have a big appetite, and I think I think it's hereditary because my dad has a big appetite too. Like everybody in my family has a big appetite, and so and I'm an easy gainer, so I gain it very easily. I'm not a hard gainer. So
Oh, so you're really fucking afraid of gaining this weight
fuck I
back.
am. I do not. Just like spend my whole life running away from my 12-year-old
But
self.
that
I'm like 35 now. Straight up.
that's good though. You gotta stay fit. You gotta be healthy. And they say you're not supposed to as you get older, you shouldn't eat as much. And we eat too much. Like we're always snacking. We're always
Oh, it's
snacking.
not
Like
eating
fucking
out. It's
I like
like
to
eating.
go for
What's
it.
that?
Go for it, dude.
Vinny?
oh man, no, you guys. It's gonna be embarrassing that I can't fucking finish this because it's the one sick runner in England. I think Bob Fateh Singh maybe.
Fudge thing, you mean?
Ford
Oh,
Singh, there
just
you
saying.
go, man. Ford Singh, there.
Bro, why do I know this? And you
I was
don't
like,
know
hopefully
this?
these guys don't make me fucking finish this sentence.
He's like 103.
He's ru- he's he's running. Yeah,
running,
he's like,
he's and he said his secret is eating like a small amount.
Really?
yo,
Yeah.
that's it. Because you're. I mean, the goal is obviously to stay healthy. Like you wanna live long but you wanna stay as healthy during that period. Like you don't want fucking 10 years, your last 10 years to be where you're not mobile, you've got a lot of sickness, illnesses because you didn't look after yourself fucking 30 years ago. Because like it's harder to later in life to like reverse the damage that's already been done. So what Cam's doing is pretty fucking good, um, right? Like I mean, it's
How
a
many times
longer
do you? How
term.
many times do you eat a day?
Right now, right
Because I know
now
you
I
were
do
doing
like.
intermittent fasting.
I try to as much. I don't force it,
Yeah.
but I eat like I try to eat. I don't eat much as it is, but I try to limit my window to like
Mm.
16 hours, 16:8. But like I don't fucking
You
maximize
don't
it.
do
The
it
thing
as
is,
a
like,
science.
and if I overeat the day before, like I'll fucking won't eat the next day. Like I could do one meal like to make up for the because it's at the end of the day it's calories, right?
Right.
Determine.
It's
Yeah, it's
it's
calories in, calories out.
it's
It's
funny you
basic
mention that
science.
because like for example, a few weeks ago, me and my buddies had Korean barbecue, and I was like so full. I literally did not eat the next day. I was like so full. Um,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say I do feel like kind of some of these health problems are hereditary. So my brother looks he's always been in better shape than I have physically, but he's like 5 years younger than me. He has back problems, he's got knee problems, and he's got teeth problems. And my mom has all those problems. My
Yeah,
dad,
but why does he have knee and back? Does he play sports?
he used to do like wrestling in high school. That's it. And he was really
What
in
does he do now?
nothing, dude. He just like works in a computer like me. That's it.
Is he active?
He physical therapy because he like literally herniated his disc when he was in wrestling. Like
Oh, yeah. So he's got an injury. He's got an exist like an old injury.
but I mean, a part of that, I mean, a herniated disc in many ways you can attribute to like a weak core, right? I guess the point I'm trying to make is he's developed like knee issues and this and that. But then my dad is like 71. He is as healthy as he was like 40 years ago. And I think I took after my dad. There's just some of it is just I think hereditary. So
Or you've seen him look after himself, and you're probably like, well, fuck, I prefer
it's
this.
also possible. I mean, that's possible. I mean, like my mom and brother.
It's your environment.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Like my
Maybe it's a bit of all, both of that.
Like in certain things, it plays a role, but like there's a lot of things we
I think
control.
yoga. Cam's a big yoga guy too, man. I think
yeah,
that plays a huge role in Cam staying healthy is yoga. I started doing it a couple months ago, and fuck, this is probably the best, the healthiest I've been.
dude. Yo, yoga. And then this is gonna sound questionable, but my buddy who I've been staying with during the pandemic, he gives me a massage, deep tissue massage every week, man. He kind of fucking
I
dude,
know Joe would love that.
bro. He slathers a CBD balm all over my fucking backside. Fucking deep tissue. It's good, dude.
Fucking, that's nice, Cameron. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man. Like if you
All
guys,
right, boys.
No, that's yeah, it was fucking it's crazy.
Cam's
Look
always
after
an
yourself.
interesting guy, man.
Cam's always got interesting things. No, you go, but like shit like that, that's good. Like, right? It's good for you, and it's gonna be good for you over the long term. Or you could be like Vin here, right?
Like what? Yeah?
I'm just joking, man. No, Vinny's healthier now too. He uses the Yuka app.
what the fuck is
Yes, I
Yuka?
do.
Vinny,
It's
tell him
basically-
what the fucking.
So basically, you scan an item and it tells you out of 100 what a score is, if it's good for you, if it's bad for you. So it'll scan a bunch of the shit you're using, man. I guarantee you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I putting in on my body, right?
Cosmetic item, like food,
Cosmetic
cosmetics,
items,
beauty.
food,
So like lotion.
Everything.
You can scan it and it'll tell you like does it have additives, dangerous, harmful ingredients in it,
Yeah.
or like so it'll rank it. It'll give you like 44 and it'll list out each and every item that's in it and what's bad for you. Is it a moderate risk, high risk? So you can get like lotions that are better for you, like soap. I found a cheaper soap that's actually better for your skin. It's more natural.
Yeah.
So right, like there's
Yeah,
and then
a lot of
it
the
does that
cheaper
with the
stuff is better for you.
That's
Yeah.
money. I thought I saw money talk about. That's where Yuka from.
Yeah, Money was talking about it probably.
Okay,
Yeah,
He
I
told
was
me
like-
about it, and I started using it. Then I told
No, it's-
Money.
it's-
Money's like, "What's that?"
you're-
Yo,
So
man.
we
I,
ended
You
up
went
going to Walmart.
You start scanning, yeah.
Yeah, you go to Walmart. Like we just had to. We were trying to go there for 5 minutes, pick up something, and bounce. And then all of a sudden, we start scanning lotions and shampoos, and we spend a half hour in that one fucking aisle just scanning.
Yo, you know what the worst thing is? A lot of stuff it doesn't scan, and that pisses you off
Oh,
because
I
like you
do.
have to
That's the
pay for the
worst, yeah.
premium to like
Yeah.
to even search things. Otherwise, you have to scan, right? If you
Yeah.
could just search things, it would make your visit to the grocery store easier. But
Yeah.
it does it with food
Yeah.
too. So like which food items are better. I mean, it's fuck if you can eat healthier, or even if it's like a small incremental change over time, that's gonna have compounding effects, right? So like.
Yeah.
Fucking do it now. Start now rather than later.
Fine.
You can
I'm
look like
gonna-
fucking good guy Cam.
Good guy,
yo,
Cam.
I do have a serious question. So, obviously I've been hearing all about the whole like differently Indian type of deal. So like, what's the story with chutneys, man? I used to hear about chutneys from Harvey, and then next thing I know, like 3 years later, I don't hear about it from Harvey anymore. I hear about it from you. So what's the story with chutneys? Like, what's the plan? It seems like a fucking awesome.
Nothing. We're it's like we call it the Indian Chipotle, as I'm sure you've heard on
Yeah.
the
Plan-
Coach P
Yeah,
podcast.
bro. Planevents, the Indian Yelp, yeah, man. Totally, yeah. Go for it. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, we got no, we're in BC now. We've got a location there, and then we've got a franchise location in Abbotsford opening up by end of this. I mean, hopefully by end of summer,
Have you guys
if everything goes.
tried because the GTA has a huge
Yeah, I don't.
March.
Just COVID, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going there right now.
No,
No, I mean it's COVID right now, and then I mean BC's a good market, so we'll try to grow there first, and then from there, see where it goes, see what happens. But if you're ever in BC, Cameron,
yeah, man.
go fucking eat
Bro,
Chutney's Indian Grill. It's differently Indian.
I'll get that chutneys. I'll do the low carb. I'll go there for my late dinner. I'll put a Instagram. I'll tag Chutney's Indian Grill. You guys will fucking reshare my story. I'll be all over it. Straight up.
This guy's gonna be our what's that guy from Subway?
Jared.
Jared. He's our
Bruh,
Jared.
Jared. First off, Jared.
Yo,
Jared got in
Good-
trouble. Jared went to fucking prison and then he died. And on top of that, he died a child molester.
Holy fuck.
good guy Cam. He loves his chutneys. Differently Indian. All right. Good sesh. We'll wrap it up here. We've been going for an hour and 15, so touched on a lot of interesting topics. Cam, always always an interesting guy. So we'll do this again, and this one we're gonna actually release. So
This was
excited
good.
about that. It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and
Vinny, Vinny, I thought he
Yeah,
was saying
man.
something. Go ahead,
No,
Cameron.
I was like,
Oh,
yeah, next time I'm gonna use my work computer just like I'm doing now, because for some reason my personal computer, the internet sucks on it. I don't
yeah,
even
yeah. The tech guy, folks.
I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but yeah. Vin, you were saying something. You're pixelating for some reason, but you were saying,
was I? Nothing. It's good to have Cam on, man. I think people love it. Let's put this out and get people to.
Cam, share this fucking plan events everywhere.
yeah, man.
Visit planevents
Yo, look,
dot what
Plan Events, man. If you're looking for discovering the
dot
best,
com.
no, we're not
.ca.
fucking planevents.ca. It's
.ca.
for discovering and
You
reviewing the
know it
best.
was .ca, man.
Man, let me
I didn't know it
finish.
was .ca.
It's the
Okay,
best.
go. Okay.
Planevents.ca, man. We're a platform for discovering the best Indian wedding vendors, and you can review them too. Got a lot of tools, a lot of great resources. Check it out. And we love hearing feedback. So if you got feedback, let us know on our Instagram.
Instagram page is what?
At planevents dot. So you got to add the dot .ca.
Look at that. Follow Plan Events, and we'll have Cameron on again another time. So, yeah, thanks, boys. We'll wrap this up here until next time.
For sure. You want us to stick around in this browser once we hit stop
I
recording?
do.
Wait, do I gotta like stay